Today is Wednesday, June 24th, and this is Money Tree. Dun, 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 dun. And so today we're going to have a very, very hopefully quick Money Tree moment. There are two things that I'm going to be talking about today. The first thing that I want to talk about is the power of enthusiasm. And then the second thing I want to talk about is a phrase called keeping up with the Joneses, which is it's an American phrase. I'm sure people from around the world have heard it and familiar with it. But if you're not familiar with it, I'll explain exactly what I mean by that. All right, let's go ahead and jump right in. The power of enthusiasm. The power of enthusiasm and growing your money tree. How could they be connected? I'll tell you exactly how. In business, in life in general, one of the most important things that are one of the most critical elements in being successful is projecting self-assurance and self-confidence. And one of the ways that we do that is through the power of enthusiasm. And that is why it is important when we meet people, when we meet new people, when we meet new business associates, if we're looking for a potential partner, if we are looking to basically make a connection, make a new friend, whatever it is important that we be enthusiastic, right? I didn't say overly enthusiastic, I said be enthusiastic. Nobody wants to be somebody who's boring. Nobody. Save your boring self for some other time, not when you're meeting new people. Be enthusiastic, right? And so, um, particularly when it comes to growing your money tree, being enthusiastic is very, very important. I'm going to show you a simple example. Many, many years ago, when I was beginning my career in the financial industry, I entered at a brokerage firm, a firm of stockbrokers. And one of the things that we were taught is that whenever we were asked how we were doing, we could never just say, "Oh, I'm fine," "Oh, I'm okay." It had to be, "I'm excellent," "I'm great," I am magnificent." It always had to be an answer that projected enthusiasm and power and excitement. And the reason for that is that it was explained to us is that if you're excited about what you're doing, the client is going to be excited about what you're doing, right? Simple as that. But this can be applied to general life as well, right? If you go out in the world, out in the world, going around meeting people, if you are excited and you have enthusiasm in your voice and your mannerism, people will be more enthusiastic and encouraged to actually give you good service because they'll be like, "Oh, you're actually engaged and you're up this morning. Okay, let's get you on your day." You know, again, I'm not saying be phony, right? I'm not saying be fake. We all have a way of projecting enthusiasm within our personality, right? Project enthusiasm, right? Now, I do understand that sometimes culturally, you may not want to send the wrong message you may not want to come across a certain way by being overly excited, overly enthusiastic, and I completely respect that. So I'm not talking about in certain social situations. I'm talking about, generally speaking, this principle, I'm applying it to whenever you're doing some type of business, you're looking to promote your business, or you're at work, or something that you're looking at. If you're in an activity that you're participating designed to create you more money, project enthusiasm. If it's outside of that and there's social or cultural norms which kind of you want to follow because you don't want to come across a certain way, I completely respect that. However, when it comes to business and making money, you need to project confidence and you need to project enthusiasm. People want to do business with people who are happy to be there and are excited about whatever product or service that they're selling. Am I making sense? Okay. So that is one of the best ways to grow your money tree. Be enthusiastic. I don't care what job it is. I don't care if you are sweeping a floor at a Rite Aid, or you are in a boardroom somewhere running a Fortune 500 company. Be enthusiastic. By the way, each one of those jobs, every job has value. Doesn't matter what it is. As if a human being is doing work that doesn't harm another individual in any way, and they're doing it in a decent way, and they are earning a living from that activity, that should be respected, because there's dignity in all honest work. I just want to say that. And so try it, right? In a day that you're down, look, a lot of us, we go to the same job, go to the job, we do the same thing over for 30, 40 years, and then we retire afterwards, right? And sometimes you've got, challenging coworkers, you've got a challenging boss, you've got a difficult task that you're doing. Put all that aside. Just try it. I'm not saying I'm not saying that being enthusiastic is going to solve all your problems. I am saying that being enthusiastic will help you look at your problems in a different way. And then it'll make you realize that some things are really not worth worrying about, right? Aside from that annoying coworker, whatever. Go about your day. Be happy. Be enthusiastic. And actually, enthusiasm helps you get through the most mundane parts of your work. Whatever job that we do, there are mundane parts of our work, and that enthusiasm helps push us through. All right? Perfect. All right, and I'm gonna talk more about that later. Now, the other thing I wanted to address this morning is this thing called keeping up with the Joneses. It is a very American term, so for my international audiences who are not aware, keeping up with the Joneses is basically when people do things to keep up a certain image of a certain socioeconomic status. They do activities or make purchases so that they appear to be part of a certain social economic group, a certain social class, right? Which sometimes people will even go into debt or put themselves in financial strain just so that they can be seen as being successful. Am I making sense? Now, one of the best ways to grow your own money tree, I'm telling you now, is not to keep up with the Joneses. Be worried about yourself. Don't be worried about what your neighbor is doing, what your cousin's doing, what that rich aunt and uncle are doing, or if you got a rich dad and a rich mom and you haven't gotten to a place where you to the level where you think you should be. Worry about yourself. Do not worry about what your neighbor is doing. Worry about yourself. Life is not a competition against other people. It is a competition within yourself. Be the best version of yourself. Stop worrying about what other people are doing. It brings you unnecessary stress, and by the way, let me say this. If you're bringing yourself down based off what you see on social media, remember that social media, most times people only present the best image of themselves, right? Most times. They're not telling you about all the other stress and things that they have to deal with, all the other problems that they're having in life. Because everyone has problems, regardless of financial status. Everyone has problems in life. The magnitude of the problems may be different, but everybody has problems. So just remember that. You are here to be the best version of yourself, you are not here to impress other people. All right? Last thing I'm going to say. In keeping in that theme about one of the best ways to grow your money tree is not to be concerned about impressing other people. Those of you who've watched horse races or been to a horse race, and I love this analogy. This is one thing that you've noticed about horses and in terms of what they have on their faces, right? If you notice, they've got covers when the horses race, they have got covers on their face, right? which keeps their eyes focused straight ahead. Those covers do not, they stop the horse from looking left or right. Why do you think that is? The reason is that if the horse looks left or right, the minute the horse looks left or right, they lose the race. And that applies to real life. Be focused on your path. Your path. Not your brothers, not your sisters, not your cousins, not your nieces, not your dads, not your moms. Be focused on your path. Now, you can certainly be inspired by other people's path, right? You can certainly be inspired and you can certainly get good advice from other people in terms of what they've done to be successful, but let it be advice. Don't let it be something that consumes you to the point where you're thinking, oh no, I'm the only one who hasn't made it. I'm the only one who hasn't done this. We have our individual paths. And as long as you are building your path to get to where you want to go, that is all that matters. Focus on you. Stop focusing on other people. Stop worrying about what other people are doing. Focus on you. Be the best version of yourself. All right? All right. So that's the money tree moment for this morning. One of the best ways, we talk about power of enthusiasm. Don't be worried about what your next door neighbor is doing. You're not here to compete with your next door neighbor, and you're not here to impress other people. Focus on your path. Live within your means and strive to improve your station in life. But while you're striving, don't be focused on what other people are doing. Be enthusiastic. Go out there with passion, and doors will open for you. All right. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Till tomorrow. This has been your Money Tree Moment.